Hey everybody. Today I want to go over expectations of pest control, and also I want to go over the law. If you like the video, think about giving me a thumbs up, sharing, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, YouTube's got this new thing where you hit the little notification bell, but you can also pick all notifications on that bell, so be sure to follow me, because I do live streams where I answer your questions. Any questions you have. I call it the Bedbug Show because it seems like that's all people want to know about anymore. But any question, don't hesitate to come in. Don't be shy. I leave myself open for people all the time. But anyway, I lost 2 customers this week. I hate losing customers. It's not about the money. It's really just more, I just like to work. I like to work for people. And anyway, the first one I want to go over is I did talk about legality. All right, so what happened? It's a regular customer. I've been going to his house for several years. He lives in the woods, and he has problems with spiders because he lives in the woods. The house is actually surrounded by trees. You're gonna get spiders if you live in the woods. What happens is he called and he complained that he was getting too many spiders, and I said, well, it's monthly pest control. I guarantee monthly pest control. I'll come out, I'll treat for free. If you have any problems, you gotta let me know if you've got problems, because I will take care of the problem, whatever it is. I will come back to your house and treat for free. I don't mind. I said, that's what a guarantee means. If you've got problems, then I'll fix it. And he said, no, don't worry. He said, I spent a lot of money to seal bats out of my house. So then we're getting to the root of the problem. It really wasn't the spiders. They were more of a nagging concern, but the bats was the issue. So what happened? This is July, when the last time I was at his home. And he had bats roosting underneath the siding of his house. He has like a piece of flashing that had been pulled up by either a squirrel or just the weather alone, maybe some wind. And the bats had gotten under and started roosting underneath this piece of flashing. Now, for people that don't know, bats are a protected species. They're not necessarily endangered, but because of their ability to eat mosquitoes and they're very beneficial, the government has stepped in and said, look, we don't want you killing bats. They're really easy to seal out of the home, to keep away, and so don't kill bats at all. They're protected, and you could lose your license. You could even face possible jail time and huge fines. So don't kill bats. All right, so bats are mammals, like dogs and cats and people, and they breastfeed their young. And right now, during the summer, is usually when they have young, where they're feeding their young, and so they will be underneath the siding feeding their babies. And I told him that you can't really seal them out this time of year, because you're going to harm the animal that the government says, look, we're not harming these animals. You're not allowed to harm these animals, because if the babies die, you're starving the babies, and that's not good for, like I said, for the bats, and you're killing bats, and that's illegal. And so I explained to him, I said, well, if you'll wait until around October, November, bats will migrate, they'll leave, they won't be in the house anymore, they'll all fly away, and you could come in and you can seal them. That's when I do the majority of my bat work, because I'm a licensed trapper in Virginia, and so I do exclusions. I seal bats out of homes all the time. I catch, possums and skunks and all kinds of animals and stuff, and it's not a problem for me to do the job, but it would have to be done when it gets cooler, and that way the bats have left the house alone. And so he said, oh, okay. Well, he hired somebody that would come out and seal out the bats, and he paid a lot of money, because bats are expensive to deal with, especially when you're dealing with a live animal right there in your hands. They carry rabies, and the guano is poisonous to humans. And so the issue is that I couldn't do it because it was against the law. And so he decided to change exterminators and move over to this other guy that was willing to do it during the summer, like I said, when the bats are nursing their young and it's illegal. And so this is what I want to go over, is legality. Now, if this exterminator, and this is just something that kind of popped into my head, if your exterminator is willing to break the law to sell a bat job, and that's really what he did. He broke the law to sell a bat job. If your exterminator is willing to do that, then what is he willing to do when it comes to the safety of your family? Is he using chemicals that are licensed to be used inside your home? Is he doing proper pest control, or is he breaking the law? Do you know what he's doing? That's a concern. It should be a number one concern, is that if your exterminator is willing to break the law for your family, he doesn't really have he doesn't have the animal anyway. The bats aren't in his, they're not his concern. He doesn't worry. He just wants to make a buck. But what happens when you get roaches in your house and he's got to come in and treat inside the kitchen cabinets and stuff? What is he using? Is he using whatever's cheap because he can save money and he can make more money that way? What's he doing? So this is a question you really need to ask yourself. The reason I'm telling this story is because you need to understand that if your exterminator is willing to break the law, if they're not taking the proper precautions to be safe, if they're not wearing gloves, if they're not doing proper, protective gear, they're not wearing their protective equipment like they're supposed to, they don't have, their health in their forefront, in their mind, they probably don't have yours in their mind either. So just keep that in mind when you hire pest control. Also, I lost my second customer. So this happened too. This is more about expectation and what you should expect from your exterminator. Now, the guy called me, and I was in Kroger with my wife, and because I answer the phone, I'm 24 hours. I carry my phone with me all the time. I'm always there for my customers, and people call me day and night. So he called. This was probably around 6, 7 o'clock in the afternoon, and he said he had a problem with an apartment in the town where they had real bad roaches. The place was infested with roaches. It's a triplex, so it's 3 units. And he's like, I want you to go over there and I want you to treat for these cockroaches. And I had fleas, but I used bug bombs. I took care of the fleas. I don't think I have any more fleas. And if you watch my bug bomb video on fleas, you'll know that already that didn't work. But I took his word for it, and I believed him. And I said, all right, well, I'll go out there, and the pest control, what I do for general pest control covers roaches and crickets, and he had some dirt dauber wasps. It covers that and everything. And I said, it's not a problem. I can go out there. Fleas are typically an upcharge. And he's like, oh, well, I don't think I need you for fleas anyway, because I'm pretty sure I killed the fleas. So what happened when we got there is the fleas attacked me. They attacked me. My son went with me. They attacked him, and they were really bad. They were so bad that I couldn't even stay in the house without treating for fleas. So I did a mild flea treatment in the rooms I had to be in to treat for the cockroaches, because I had to try to cut down on the fleas a little bit. Now, the problem with fleas is that I do a lot of fleas. It's a summertime. Fleas are bad. August, September, October, usually that's when you get calls on fleas. That's when the fleas are just really out of control. That's when I do my majority of flea work. And so I've been using the chemical up. I didn't have any with me. I just went for roaches. He told me he needed roaches. I didn't have the ability to mix right there, what I needed for the fleas. I didn't have everything I needed, but I didn't go prepared for fleas. Like I said, the guy said he had taken care of the fleas, and so I just took his word for it. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that, but either way, I charge extra for fleas, because you have to treat, it's a completely different treatment. You have to treat, it's not a crack and crevice treatment, it's a surface treatment. So you have to treat the floors and everything where the fleas are. And it's one of the things the label will tell you that you're allowed to treat for, as far as a broadcast spray, is for fleas. And so, and it's a different chemical, it's a different mix, I use a different tank for that and everything. So, fast forward 3 weeks, because it usually takes about 3 weeks to eliminate fleas completely. And he calls me and he said he's still got fleas. Of course, I told him he needed to hire me for a flea job, but he wouldn't do it. So he's really upset, really concerned, because the fleas are still a problem and he can't rent the property. And I'm like, well, no, you can't. You got to kill the fleas first. You can't rent the property. I said, but I told you this originally in the beginning, that this is what you were purchasing. This is what we were dealing with. And so he canceled altogether. So that's more along the lines of make sure you have proper line of communication with your exterminator. Make sure you hear everything your exterminator is saying. If your exterminator is not going to cover fleas under, I would have taken care of the fleas the day I went, if I knew he wanted me to. If he was willing to pay me to do it, I would have killed the fleas. That's not a problem. I kill fleas every day. They eat me up. I've got bites all over my legs. It seems like as soon as the bites heal and they stop itching, I get more bites. It's just that someone else says, hey, I got fleas in my house, come kill mine now, you know? So it's just that time of year that I deal with fleas. It's something I've learned to deal with. I've been doing this my whole life, so it's not a problem. But anyway, hopefully this has helped anybody, or at least given you some kind of an entertaining story about, you know, my world. I hope you guys have a really great day. I really appreciate all the love and sharing and, you know, just everything you do for me, all the donations you guys have been doing. I really appreciate it. It really keeps me going, and it you know, makes me realize I'm really helping you guys out, and it pushes me to do more. So I appreciate it. Like I said, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, share me around, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate it, and you guys have a really great day. Thanks a lot.